हाँ, ये टीम का नाम क्या रखे हो? सुनो। अरे ये स्नैपशॉट ले लियो ना उसका। उसको भी मेल कर मैसेज करो। और सुनो, सब लोग ज्वाइन करो वेबिनार को। 3D प्रिंटिंग 4 बजे। आज आधा घंटा ही लेंगे सर, बोले हैं। आओ जल्दी आओ। अरे सर अभी आ गए हैं, ज्वाइन करो तुम। हेलो हेलो हेलो।
गुड इवनिंग सर।
सब लोग को कहाँ है और लोग?
आ रहे हैं।
वॉइस को म्यूट करो। Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Namaskar.
Yes, sir. Sir, shall we start, sir?
Yeah, I can start now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, a very good afternoon and welcome back to this session. Thing. We have started our discussion a day before yesterday, and uh, 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 am I audible?
Yeah, sir. Audible. Your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, so this is the third session. So I'll share my screen and I'll start discussing from where I have left yesterday.
Okay, sir.
So because we have discussed up to this point, that is the classification of 3D printing or RP processes. Now the next thing is that we will start talking about the various processes. So yesterday we talked about the classification, that we have liquid based processes which are mainly based on the photopolymerization, and then we have basically solid based processes where the solid material is either wire or it is foil or maybe powder. So based on these four principles, basically four classifications, we have different processes which I'll like to discuss, and also I'd like to discuss the processes mainly for polymers and then for metals also. So here, this was the first process which was developed in 1994. It was developed in 1994. I told you yesterday also. So this was the first process which was developed in 1994, and the principle of this process was that here we use a liquid resin to deposit the component. Now this liquid resin is nothing but it is a photosensitive monomer. Monomer, though all the students, please remember, you might have studied in your chemistry, there's a reaction called polymerization reaction, correct? So there's a monomer, and when you add some catalyst to it, there is a polymerization reaction which starts. So the polymerization can be initiated by different kinds of initiators. So in this case, the initiator is a photosensitive initiator, because what happens is the property of this liquid resin is, that is the liquid monomer, is that if you use a if the laser is a kind of light, correct? So if the light above certain threshold frequency falls on this monomer, wherever this light will fall, below which up to certain depth there will be polymerization. So the liquid will start converting into solid. It will get, there will be polymerization reaction, and that's why it will form the very long chain molecules, and the liquid will convert into solid. That is the principle which was used in this process and has been successfully, utilized to develop plastic components. So from this figure, you can understand that this is the platform of the machine. On this platform of the machine, pour liquid resin, that is the liquid monomer, is being poured, and how much it is poured? Equal to one layer thickness, correct? So in the beginning, we'll pour only this much, equal to one layer thickness. So this liquid resin will spread over the entire platform, correct? Then the laser will come from here, from the top. There's a laser source, and there's a movable mirror. This is also known as galvanomirror. So this galvanomirror is a numerically controlled mirror. It is a numerically controlled mirror. So this mirror will rotate by the numerical commands, digital commands. We have already calculated the information related to first layer, and we have also generated the different paths. So it has already calculated that where the laser spot should move, correct? So accordingly, this mirror will rotate so that this laser spot will move on the surface of this resin. So in the when there's a deposition of first layer, only up to this point there will be resin, and the spot laser spot will move like this. The laser spot will move like this, and it will create the wherever the laser spot will go, below which the material will start converting into solid. There will be polymerization reaction, and that will get deposit. So wherever this laser will go, the material will be solidified. So that's how you'll deposit the first layer. And on the first layer, where the laser spot will not go, that portion will remain liquid. Correct? So suppose you have to make a structure like this, as it has been shown in this picture. So because it is an overhanging kind of structure, so you have to plan for a support structure also. That also you have to deposit. Correct? So that's why you are going to deposit a support structure, because if you don't plan, later on you won't be able to deposit, because there's nothing on which you are going to deposit, because here in that case it will be only the liquid. Is it clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's how you are going to see this. Okay, now this whole process is actually conducted in a enclosed chamber, and you have to control proper temperature. You have to maintain proper wattage. If you change the layer thickness, accordingly the wattage of the laser will change. So all these controls are there on the machine panel. So controls are definitely very important, because the controls are important. They because they will govern the accuracy of the part. Because when the laser spot moves on the liquid surface, it should not go beyond the limits. Otherwise, the part will be either over dimensioned or less dimensioned. And similarly, now after the one layer is deposited, this platform will go down. This platform will move down by an amount equal to one layer thickness. It will go down. Again, the photopolymer will be poured. So photopolymer will come in, again equal to one layer thickness, correct? And then you again have the data you have already computed. So the next layer will be deposited by scanning through this laser spot. So you will get the whole thing deposited as a second layer. So then again the platform will go down. Again the liquid will come, and you will deposit the laser will scan, and you will put third layer. So that's how the platform will keep on going down. You will keep on pouring more liquid, and you will keep on curing using this laser spot, and you will build up the component. So that's how it is a bottom up process. It is a bottom up process. It is a building process. You add the layer, you add the material layer by layer. So it is a layer by layer deposition process, and this is the first process of 3D printing, which was developed in 1994. Now the good thing about this process is that its resolution is very high. Because it is liquid, you can deposit very thin layers, correct? So if you can deposit very thin layers, then the resolution of the process will be very high. Means you can create very fine components, you can develop intricate shapes on the component, and the accuracy of the process will be good. The surface quality will also be good. So that are the advantages of stereolithography process. But it is comparatively or comparably a little costly process, correct? Now I'll move to the second process. Second process is called selective laser sintering. when we use polymeric powder like nylon powder, most common powder is the nylon powder, correct? So when we use nylon powder, we call it as a selective laser sintering. And when we use metal powder, we call it as a selective laser melting machine. Now, please note that on the same machine, you cannot process polymers as well as metal because the temperature ranges are very different. Like the sintering machine, which processes polymers, which deposits polymers, the maximum temperature which it can go is 300 degrees Celsius. But if you want to do melting, the temperature starts from 600, 700 degrees Celsius, and it depends on the material. If you want to deposit stainless steel, you have to go up to 1100 degrees Celsius. If you want to deposit, say, some other material like titanium, you have to go up to 1300 degrees Celsius. So the two machines cannot be same, correct? But the principle is similar. How the principle is similar? This whole process is conducted in a closed envelope like this. This is the closed envelope on which you are conducting the process, and this envelope is maintained at a temperature few degrees Celsius below the melting temperature of the polymer. Like suppose the polymer melting temperature is 270 degrees Celsius. Then you will maintain this chamber at a temperature of say around 263, something like that, correct? Then what you will do? You are going to recoat, like there will be a the powder will be there. This is here. There is a powder bin. So you can see this is a powder feed cartilages. So the powder will be spread on the platform by this roller feed or by the recoater. So one layer will spread on the powder. One layer of powder will spread on the platform. In a very similar manner, the laser will come from the top, and there is a mirror. Once again, this is a rotating mirror. It is a galvano mirror. It will deflect the laser spot on the surface of this powder. So here the powder particles, they will fuse together. In the beginning, these particles are separate, but when the laser will be applied, they will fuse together, they will join. So in this picture, what has been shown, that this is the portion where the laser spot has moved. So this has become solid. In all other portion where the laser has not gone is still a powder. So I'll show you the same thing on another slide. So you can see this powder is spread. So powder spreading by recoater, that is the first step. Then what do? Then powder bed exposed by the laser beam. So there's a laser beam which moves on it. So this brown color thing which you are seeing is actually the hardened powder. It has converted into solid from powder, correct? And the yellow powder, yellow thing which you are seeing is a powder. It is actually the powder. It remains as a powder. Is it fine? Is it clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
हेलो
Is it okay?
सर, अगर हम लोगों को वैकेंट यदि कोई बनाना हो,
क्या बनाना हो?
हेलो
हाँ बोलिए
सर, अगर सपोज हम लोगों को कोई कैविटी ऑब्जेक्ट बनाना है जिसमें अंदर में कैविटी है,
हाँ, तो कैविटी है तो
ठीक है, हेलो,
उसके लिए आपको प्रोविजन करना पड़ेगा। अगर कैविटी चारों तरफ से बंद है तो आपको होल्स का प्रोविजन करना पड़ेगा जहां से अनसिंटर्ड पाउडर निकालना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? अदरवाइज द एंटायर पाउडर विल बी ट्रैप्ड इनसाइड। इफ इट इज अ सपोज आप स्फीयर बनाना चाहते हो, सर्कल शेल, फुटबॉल टाइप की चीज बनाना चाहते हो, अंदर हवा है, ठीक है? तो अगर वो बनाओगे तो अंदर पूरा पाउडर भर जाएगा। उस पाउडर को निकालने के लिए आपको छोटा होल भी बनाना पड़ेगा। इज इट क्लियर?
नहीं सर, ये एक और क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे एक लेयर है, सपोज कीजिए कि हम एक लेयर हम बिछा दिए, अब
हाँ।
उसके वहां पे हमको मेरा लेजर गया, तो जहां पे लेजर मेरा गया वहां हार्डेंड हो गया सरफेस।
हाँ।
अब उसके ऊपर वाले लेयर में हम एक वहां पे हमको लेजर उस जगह पे गिराना है जहां पे हमको नीचे वाला लेयर जहां पे पाउडर था, अब ऊपर वाले लेयर में हमको ऊपर वाला लेयर को हार्ड करना है, तो क्या नीचे वाला लेयर फिर हार्ड नहीं हो जाएगा उसके चक्कर में?
नहीं, वो सारा पैरामीटर कंट्रोल होता है। एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि देयर इज अ डेप्थ व्हेन द लेजर फॉल्स लाइक दिस, it cannot penetrate like it can penetrate only few microns, correct? So actually what happens is that this kind of picture, this kind of, you know, volume is being uh, created. I can show you on the picture. I'll show just a wait. So you can see here on this picture, correct? Is it visible
Yes.
on my face? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
what happens is, so if you can see this picture, correct? So you can understand that if the laser falls, this is how the sintering takes place. It cannot go below that region which I have shown. So this region is of few microns. So that's why it is not that it will keep on hardening everything. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Now the next is, then again the platform will go down. It will go down by one layer thickness as shown here in this picture. The platform moves down. आपको लाल रंग का कर्सर दिखाई देता है?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, तो ये platform will move down as I am showing here once again, and one new layer will be deposited, correct? Again the powder will recoat, and recoating will take place, recoating of the new layer, the powder will coat, and again, you know, the laser will recoating for the next layer, and again the laser will explode, and you can keep on building from bottom to the top. So this is the principle of selective laser sintering or melting. In case of melting, selective laser melting, you will have powder with the metal powder, and you have to maintain an argon gas environment. If you are dealing with metal, metals are very much susceptible to oxidation. The oxygen and nitrogen of the atmosphere. So that's why when you are depositing some metal, this chamber will be maintained with a helium or argon kind of inert gas atmosphere, so that there's no reaction with the air. But in case of polymers, generally we fill this either with air in simple machines, or if there's a more accurate machines, costlier machines, this chamber is being filled with the nitrogen. So that is the kind of process this is. Okay, now let me move to the next process, which is the most economical 3D printer. The cost of this 3D printer is minimum. This is called fused deposition model. I think some of you might have already seen it, correct? आप लोगों से मेरा एक रिक्वेस्ट है कि ये जो सारी चीज मैं बता रहा हूँ, इन सारी चीजों के वीडियो YouTube में अवेलेबल हैं, ठीक है बात? तो आप लोग जब मेरा लेक्चर खत्म हो जाता है उसके बाद अपना YouTube चलाइएगा, आप उस पर लिखेंगे स्टीरियोलिथोग्राफी, so you will get some videos of stereolithography. If you write fused deposition modeling, you will get the video of this so that you can get a better picture. I cannot show the videos here because the streaming will be a problem. That I don't want to do. Everything is available in YouTube, so you can just try to have a look, and you can see it. Is it all right? So what happens in case of fused deposition modeling? In fused deposition modeling, we use the wire. This is a wire. This is a plastic wire. It is an ABS wire. ABS is a plastic. It is a thermoplastic. Thermoplastic is a plastic which can be recycled. Correct? It's not thermoset. It's thermoplastic. So there's a spool and there's a continuous wire. So this continuous wire is drawn in by counter rotating rolls. इसमें दो रोल होते हैं, ऐसे उल्टा घूमते हैं, तो अंदर खींचता है वायर को. And there's a heating elements also here. So these heating elements heat the this liquid, this polymer wire, and it comes out like this from here. So it is a molten ABS material. Now this nozzle is XY controlled. There's a digital controlled XY control, and the material deposition paths are already calculated. That I have already told you in yesterday's class. So that has already been calculated. So you can deposit these things on as a layer by layer form, and the platform will go down accordingly. So here generally there are two nozzles in the machine. One nozzle is for the main material like ABS, and another nozzle will be for support material. Because in this case also you have to deposit support structure, correct? You cannot avoid support structure in this case. So that is a different kind of material, which is low grade material, which can either be removed by some mechanical means, or it can be dissolved in some organic solvent, or sometimes even in water. So like HIPS is a kind of polymer. If you make a HIPS support, then you can take the entire component and dip in the water, the HIP will be dissolved. So that's how you are able to develop the prototypes. And this is the most economical, सबसे सस्ता प्रिंटर यही मिलता है. 50,000 60,000 रुपए में ये प्रिंटर आपको मार्केट में मिल सकता है. ठीक है. So most of the places you will see this kind of printer, which is one of the most economical printer. Then this printer has certain limitations. Limitations are that the wire materials are very limited. Only 3-4 kinds of wire you will get. Correct? Like you will get ABS, PVA, polyvinyl alcohol. You will get PLA, polylactic acid. That's all. You can get HIPS. Correct? That's all. And then the layer thickness cannot be very small. The minimum layer thickness is of the order of 0.25 millimeter. That is 1/4 of a millimeter. That is the minimum possible layer thickness which is possible in this machine, in this kind of machine. So that's why what happens is that the resolution of the process is low. The resolution of the process is low, so you cannot make very, very accurate components, and the surface quality is also rough. So those kinds of limitations are there in this FDM kind of process. Okay, then there's another process called laminated object manufacturing. So in this laminated object manufacturing kind of process, what is being done? Here we use a foil. So this is a plastic material, or even it may be a roll. It may be even a paper roll. This is the platform. So this roll will move, and this is a lamination roll. So this heated lamination roll will move. This material will stick to the platform, and the laser will come in a similar manner from the top, and it will cut. In this process, the function of the laser is to cut the material. Correct? It will not deposit. Then the platform will go down. Again, this will move, and next layer will be deposited. Roll will move. You will again cut. So that's how you are able to develop the component. You are doing cross hatching also, you can see. Actually, if you see in this picture, this ring, this annular ring is something which was desired, and all other is a waste material. So later on, actually in this, you will get a block kind of thing, and by mechanical means, by using some tools, you will remove the components. So this process is not a very accurate process. It is only used to make some sort of models. That is actually the advantage, or we can say limitations of this process. Okay, then let me talk about one of the most important development of 3D printing, that is additive manufacturing system, metal deposition system. Correct? This kind of system is also called powder blown technology. So other like SLM, I have told you. So SLM was a powder bed technology. This is called powder blown technology. This technology was first developed at LENS. This is known as LENS, Laser Engineered Net Shaping. It was developed at Sandia National Laboratories of USA. And here you can see that the idea is that you have a conical channel like this. You have a conical channel like this, and from these channels, the powder is supplied. Powder is coming down. And from the center, there's a laser beam which comes here, and here basically the metal powder is coming like this. The metal powder is coming like this, and the laser is coming from the center. So when they interact here, very fine molten metal droplet is being formed, and there's a XY control, so you can deposit this molten metal on the platform. Correct? So here on the platform, there's a very good arrangement of cooling channels because you have to continuously remove the heat. So some examples of components which have been made by this lens process, they have been shown here. There's a tall component which is thin walls. There's a component which is thick walls. This is some housing kind of thing, watch kind of surface which has been shown here. It has intricate details also. Now the good thing about this process is that you can have different streams of powder. Like from one side I can have material A, from other side I can have material B. They will mix, and so there's a different kinds of alloying which you can achieve in this process. And also the research results have shown that the components which are fabricated using this process, they have very good strength. Sometimes the strength is as good as forged component. If you optimize the parameters, the component strength is very high. It's not limited. It's not unlimited. It's as good as forged components in certain cases when you properly optimize the parameters. So this is the advantage of this powder, this process. You can also, do alloying effect. You can develop different kinds of material. You can develop functionally graded material with this kind of process. Correct? So this is a broad overview I have given you about the 3D printing, and you basically have different processes. Very new processes are there. Like there's a very HP 3D printer has been introduced very recently. There are some processes which even able to develop. Mark Forge printer is there, which is able to deposit carbon fiber along with plastic. So you can develop composite components. You can develop some sort of different kinds of components with ceramics also. So everything is possible, but definitely the processes are good, not for mass production, for batch production, and also for customized. They are best suited for customized kind of production, because for mass production, our old way of mass production systems, they are quite good. Correct? So now let me move. There are 10 more minutes. I'll show you some more things. So additive manufacturing, near net shaping is something like in case of lens process, this is how the interface will look like. But in case of powder bed process, which is SLM process, this is how the bed will look like. Correct? So basically in 3D printing, you have variety of applications. These applications include design applications, analysis and planning applications. It has various biomedical applications. I have told you yesterday that we can make some doctors can do surgical operation planning using the models. You can develop different kinds of prostheses and implants for patients. So that is the kind of advantage we have when we do biomedical applications with 3D printing. We can also have form and fit kind of analysis. Then we have various manufacturing and tooling applications. Like one can develop different kinds of patterns. And सुनिए भाई, अगर थोड़ा सा मीटिंग बंद हो जाता है तो we will start again because I'll take another 5-10 minutes. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's a voice is audible, sir, and nothing
Yes, sir,
problem.
yes.
Sir.
Different kinds of tooling investment casting is important application. Like using stereolithography, we are able to produce different wax molds using 3D printing. And then this jewelry is being casted. Gold jewelry is being casted using 3D this rapid tooling kind of techniques. So this is a slide which talks about biomedical application. So you can just have a look. I have already told you there's a CT MRI image. This is how the CT MRI looks like, and you can have the 3D reconstruction using Mimics kind of software. Then you can 3D print. So these kinds of structures one can print using 3D printers. So now I'll move little fast because you can see the examples. So these are some components which have been produced using 3D printing. So I'm not explaining, you can understand your own. And here you can see there are some biomedical components which have been, developed. These are metallic components, very important. These are implants. So this is made by electron beam additive manufacturing. Then these are made by SLM, that is selective laser melting kind of process. These are titanium components, correct? So these kinds of geometry you can see that you cannot produce by any other kind of manufacturing process. Dental implants you can produce by laser melting. Then these are the aero components, these aero, blades, etc. You can produce by 3D printing. So these are the various other applications which you can produce functionally graded material. You can produce. You can see that this is topologically optimized structure which has been produced using 3D printing. You can see the complex geometries are there. So those cannot be done by any other process. That's what is the beauty here in 3D printing. You can see this is a die which has been developed using 3D printing. Correct? These are the plastic heads, plastic head lamps, which are made in, which are actually kept in this particular vehicle here. So in this case, 3D printing is actually used as a manufacturing tool. You can then these plastic components we can have painting. So you can have metal paints put so that you can improve the surface quality as well as you can improve the strength. Again the same thing, correct? Finished and painted headlamp. So beautiful artifacts you can create, these kinds of plastic components from 3D printing. So what do we see? The next generation additive manufacturing is something that you can make smart components which are embedded with certain kinds of sensors. So they will tell you about their health. So that is the idea about next generation of 3D printing. So what I will stop my lecture here with a note that geometrical complexity of any object, maybe metallic, maybe plastic, is not a limitation in 3D printing. So all the best to everybody. Now I'll request if there is any question, or Mr. Aditya Narayan, you can proceed with your proceedings. So I'm done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So I'm stopping sharing the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can proceed now and tell me if anything has to be done. If you have any questions, students, you may ask.
From participant, any question, then you ask with professors. Hello. Anyone?
Hello.
Yeah, anyone having the question, so we can ask with professor.
हाँ सर, हम लोग जो वायर 3D प्रिंटिंग करते हैं,
हाँ वायर वाला जो बताया था, वायर वाला सिस्टम जो बताया था
रोलर, अभी जो थोड़ी देर पहले आपने बताया,
हाँ फ्यूज डिपोजिशन मॉडलिंग, हाँ बताइए।
उसमें जो वायर है, जो मतलब जैसे हम लोग अपना ऑब्जेक्ट को कितने भी लेयर्स में हम लोग बांट सकते हैं कि उसका
हाँ आप लोग ऐसा करिए, वीडियो देखिए जो मैंने बताया है। आप आदित्य नारायण जी, आपने वीडियो रिकॉर्ड किया है ना मेरा?
या सर, एवरी वीडियो आई हैव रिकॉर्डेड।
तो स्टूडेंट्स को बांट दीजिएगा,
हाँ
दे दीजिए और ये लोग अपना देखेंगे, ठीक है?
यस सर।
वीडियो YouTube में जाके
I upload this video sir on YouTube, so I also share the link to the participant, so the student will benefit by this link, sir.
What is the feedback? You can have the feedback and then you can stop. I think खत्म ही हो जाएगा 2-4 मिनट।
Sir, in which format, sir, you want the feedback, sir? You are any format there, sir? Feedback is okay, sir. From a student, every student is got happy with this your lecture.
कोई स्टूडेंट कुछ कहना चाहते हैं फीडबैक के बारे में? They can tell me.
Okay. Any student want to tell about the feedback of this program?
सर मैं बस एक क्वेश्चन एराइज करना चाहता हूँ कि
ask, proceed, go ahead.
कि सर अभी हम लोग सेकेंड ईयर में है मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग,
ओके,
तो हम लोग अभी बेसिक सीख रहे हैं ऑटोकैड में, जो 3D मॉडलिंग हम लोग कर रहे हैं,
ओके,
वो अभी हम लोग ऑटोकैड में सीख रहे हैं। तो अगर हम लोग को कोई प्रोडक्ट बनाना हो तो जो हम लोग अभी सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर रहे हैं उससे हम लोग 3D मॉडल
ऑटोकैड जो
बना
है,
सकते हैं।
ऑटोकैड ड्राफ्टिंग के लिए ज्यादा अच्छा है, ठीक है। सॉलिड मॉडलिंग के लिए और दूसरे सॉफ्टवेयर आते हैं, आप थर्ड ईयर वगैरह में सीखेंगे, ऐसी बात नहीं है। आई थिंक आपके कॉलेज में और भी दूसरे सॉफ्टवेयर भी सिखाए जाएंगे।
Yes, sir. All the student means कि this student is belonging for second year, so he has only knowledge of AutoCAD. In third and fourth year, sir, they will get the get the more software. Hello. Anything else? Can you suggest for the feedback of this lecture? Anyone? Any participant?
लेक्चर कैसा लगा, समझ में आया कि कुछ और करना चाहिए?
Yes, sir. This is very helpful, sir, for us.
चलिए, गुड।
And
Thank you, sir,
one.
for
Hello, sir.
sharing the knowledge with us.
One more thing, sir. If the in lecture, sir, if the possibility of how to operate the 3D printing, because we have a 3D printing in our lab, sir, in our college. So how to operate? Just one thing I want to know.
ऑपरेट करने वाला तो आपने जिससे खरीदा होगा वो सिखा के जाएगा ना आपको सारा कुछ।
Yeah, sir. They will give the demonstration, sir. They already give. And okay, sir. Anything else about the feedback of this session? Any faculty member wants to tell? Hello. Nothing else, sir. Okay, sir. No one having the doubt, sir, and feedback
चलिए, sir,
all about.
thank you very much. और थैंक यू वेरी मच। हाँ, ठीक है, बंद करिए, फिर हम लोग कभी और मिलेंगे।
Okay,
और
thank you, sir.
आप उससे बात करिएगा आशीष जी, then we'll keep in touch, है?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I will keep in touch with you. Okay, thank you, sir.